Hi, and welcome to Max in Minutes from Focal Press and 3dforgames.com. In this video, we'll be building upon everything you've learned in the Introduction and Create video, and we'll show you how to build a simple object in Max using primitives and basic modify tools. Okay, to begin with, let's build a box. To do this, we go to Create, make sure that we are in Geometry, and Standard Primitives, and then select Box. Left click, drag and release in the viewport, move your mouse forwards, and left click again to complete your box. Next, we go down to the Zoom Extents All, clicking it so that we can see our box in full. You can also Zoom Extents All by using the keyboard shortcut Shift, Control and Z. Right click in any of the viewports and use the F3 key if your box is displayed in wireframe. Press F4 to toggle display edges. Now, if you'd like your box to be a specific size, you can enter the values in the parameters rollout, and you can adjust the subdivisions too. These are found in Modify Parameters. We'll set these to 1 on the length and 3 for the width and height. Here we'll make the length 20, the width 100 and the height 100. We'll zoom extents all again by using the Shift Control Z. Okay, let's take a look at our box. To see it full screen, we can click on the Maximize Viewport Toggle button or use the keyboard shortcut Alt and W. You can use Alt and W with any of the viewports. Just right click a viewport and press Alt W. Pressing it again returns you to the standard 4 viewports. You can also focus more closely on a specific viewport whilst keeping the 4-port configuration by left clicking and holding the intersection of the viewports in the middle of the screen and dragging it. You can also move this into any position you like, and to reset you just need to right click in the center and click Reset Layout. Okay, let's continue with our build. To begin with, we will start building a basic chair object from our box using a few basic modifiers. Our box is currently the seat of the chair. To be able to modify our chair at a sub-object level, and by sub-object I mean the polygons, faces and vertices, we will need to convert it to an editable mesh, editable poly, or add an edit mesh modifier. To add an edit mesh modifier, we need to go up to the modifier list, left click on the arrow to the right of it, and all of the modifiers will roll out. All we need to do is select edit mesh from the list. If we press the E key on the keyboard, it will take us to the first modifier beginning with the letter E, which just happens to be edit mesh. Hit return whilst it's highlighted or left click and it will be selected. Edit mesh will then appear here in the modifier stack. The modifier stack is a record of all the modifiers that you have applied to an object, and as the title suggests, it stacks each modifier on top of the previous one, which has a cumulative effect on your model. The cool thing about the modifier stack, or stack for short, is that you can go to any of the modifiers in the stack anytime you want and make adjustments, or turn modifiers off, all affecting the model's end result. You can also delete modifiers anywhere in the stack or add new ones. Between the modifier list and the stack display, there are a number of modifier buttons. These buttons can be configured to display any modifiers you like. It's a good idea to display the ones you use most often. As you can see on my set, I have chosen to display Edit Mesh, UVW Unwrap and Unwrap UVW. Here's how to do it. First we need to click on the Configure Modifier Sets button and then left click Configure Modifier Sets from the top of the list. This should open the Configure Modifier Sets window. First, let's set the total buttons to 10. You can have anything you like up to a maximum of 32 here. Then you just left click and drag the modifiers of your choice to the empty slots, or on top of the existing ones you want to change. Use the scroll bar to find the modifiers you want, and when you're done, just click OK, and that's it. If for any reason you can't see your modifier buttons, just click on the Configure Modifier Sets button again and make sure Show Buttons has a tick next to it. If not, left click to turn them on. Okay, let's start to make this look a little more like a chair. Add an Edit Mesh modifier to your box by clicking the Modifier button you just set up, or from the Modifiers rollout. You should see the Edit Mesh modifier appear in the stack. Left click to make it active. It will turn yellow, showing that it's active. You may have noticed that you can now see the selection tools and the edit geometry tools. We will use these to transform our box into a basic chair model. Let's look at the selection rollout first. Here you can choose to modify your model by vertex, edge, face, polygon and element. You can access these by clicking the keyboard shortcuts 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 on the keyboard. In our case, we'll move some polygons around and then we'll extrude them. Type 4 on the keyboard or choose polygons from the selection, and then holding down the control key, left click and select 3 polygons, one at a time, on the top of your box. If you accidentally slide your mouse when you're selecting the polygons, or you click on the wrong ones, just let go of the control key, left click off the box, which resets your selection, and try again. Okay, with the 3 polygons selected, look over to the Edit Geometry tab on the right and find Extrude. Now there are 3 different ways to extrude. The first is to click on the Extrude button, then left click and hold and move your mouse to set the amount of extrusion. The second is to type in the amount you want to extrude by in the box next to the Extrude button and hit return. Here I've used a value of 100. And the third is to grab the arrow next to this box and left click and drag the arrow by the desired amount. You can fine tune this by typing in the final amount here too. Be careful when clicking and moving this arrow, as each time you change it, it will perform a new extrusion. As you can see, it can make your model quite messy. As always, if you make a mistake, just use undo from the top of the screen or use Ctrl and Z to undo. If you undo too much, use redo or Ctrl and Y. Now that we have the back of our chair, let's make the legs. Left click off the chair to unselect the polygons. Using Orbit from the Viewport navigation commands, or by holding down Alt and the middle mouse button, orbit around your chair so that you can see the bottom. Now holding down Ctrl, left click each of the 4 corner polygons on the underside of your chair. If you have any problems with selecting polygons on other parts of the chair, just check Ignore Backfacing from the selection rollout. Okay, with the 4 corner polygons selected, let's extrude the legs out. Here I'll just type in the number. Again, I'll use 100 and hit return. So we have a basic chair shape, but it looks a little bit odd. Let's change the default colour, then slim down the back and legs. To change the default colour, just click the colour swatch just below Modify, towards the top right of the screen. Here you can change the default colour to any colour you like. If you want to use a custom colour, then click in one of the custom colour slots, then click the Add Custom Colour button and use the picker and sliders to pick the one you want. Then click Add Colour, then click OK. If the colour you've picked looks slightly different to the colour of your chair, this is because the chair has been affected by the default lighting settings. To adjust this, go to Rendering, Environment, or press the 8 key on the keyboard and have a look at the global lighting settings here. You can adjust the tint by clicking on the colour, changing it and clicking OK. Here I've made it slightly less white. And you can adjust the intensity or level here. Again, I've just reduced the intensity slightly by setting it to 0.6. Finally, you can adjust the ambient light. Be sure to click OK if you change it. You can also set the background colour of your renders here, in Common Parameters, Background Colour. I like a light grey colour. Now we need to make this chair look a bit more realistic. Use the Maximise Viewports toggle to return to the 4 viewport configuration and left click in the top viewport. Zoom Extents All to see your chair clearly in all viewports, then press 1 on the keyboard to go into Modify Vertex mode. At this point, uncheck Ignore Backfacing if you still have it checked. Then just click, drag and release to select the row of vertices which defines the depth of the back of the chair. You should be able to clearly see which vertices you've selected in each viewport as they turn red when selected. Then just click and hold and drag the axis arrow to move them all along the axis. Staying in the top view, do the same to the front vertices. Next, select the two vertical rows of vertices in the middle and click to select the Select and Uniform Scale button, or Scale for short. This time we'll move both rows of vertices at once by scaling them on the x-axis. Again, just by left clicking and holding the mouse and dragging the x-axis. And there you have your basic chair model. If you want to add a bit more detail, you can select a group of edges like this, and add a chamfer, or you can model a simple cushion or padded back for it by creating a box and chamfering the edges using the new skills you've learned. This concludes our first tutorial on Modify. Be sure to join me in the next video where I'll take you through adding texture maps to your models. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next guide. For support with this video and any of the others in the range, log on to www.3d4games.com/forum and your questions will be answered once you've logged in. Good luck and goodbye.